Good evening and welcome to the regular meeting of November 27th of Portland City Council. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, the Lord's Prayer, and a moment of silence for our men and women serving overseas. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Thank you. Clerk, please call the roll. Cole Hatfield. Present. Ron Ackerman.
Present.
Kibobenko. Present. Kathy Mount. Present. Mike Snyder.
Present.
Mark Kessler.
Present.
Randy Lipstra.
Here.
Thank you. Council has before him the minutes of the October 23rd and the November 13th regular meeting. Could I have a motion to accept the minutes as stated?
So moved, Madam President.
Thank you, Mr. Snyder. A second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Ms. Mel. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. The chair notes that certification has been received regarding compliance with the rules of notification of this meeting. And we will now go to the mayor's report.
Thank you, Madam President. Actually, I have to put a few things. First off, I'd like to let everyone know, back in March of this year, Tracy Colson and myself had met with the Army Corps of Engineers talking about the revitalization of our waterfront, or our shoreline, I should say. And due to those conversations and some of the work that we've done with them, it was just announced to me just earlier this week, we have received $250,000 from the Great Lakes Restoration Initiative for the design phase restoration of our waterfront. It basically goes from the jetty all the way to what we refer to as the birdhouses, if you will. So it's the whole shoreline. This is, like I say, design phase. They expect the design will be completed by fall of 2013, and it looks favorable that we will also receive the funds for construction as well. So we're looking forward to working on that. Also, I would like to remind everyone this weekend, Community Christmas. Parade starts promptly at 2 p.m. And obviously plenty of activities will follow with the lighting of the Christmas tree at the Adams Street Park at 5:30. And while we're talking about Christmas, the Adams Street Park, I wanted to thank Jerry Onke, Sarah and Lee Warren, who put a lot of time and effort into decorating that, along with our service guys taking care of the tree. And also, real special thanks to my two chiefs, Chief Rob Hickman and Chief Ken Johnson, who helped myself to install the banners down Madison, 2nd Street, and try to get them all at the same height and make some corrections. So it was a nice day spent together. Also a reminder to council, Wednesday, December 5th, all council and all department heads, there will be a presentation held by Edison, talk about the storm response and outage process, and that starts at 5 o'clock promptly. But obviously everyone is welcome and more than welcome to join us as well. It's right here at City Hall. And another topic of conversation has taken place. Actually, a lot of conversation took place in the infrastructure committee. We talked a lot about the Sloan Ditch. Obviously, this has been a conversation many, many years. We were talking about it in infrastructure, and it was recently, and Ms. Hadley was nice enough to write a real nice article on the front page of the paper today, that our section has been completed. We hired an outfit that came in, and they have cleaned that ditch. We are very hopeful that this is going to cure up a lot of different flooding problems that we have on the east side. It definitely will benefit the hospital. So they'll have someplace to put that water instead of recycling it and ending up back in there. Along with all those dead-end streets, 8, 9, 10, 11, that have suffered from a lot of flooded basements for many years. So we are very grateful that it's done. Obviously, there's more to be done on the west side of Fulton Street. That takes a little more of a process. The property owner there, Rick Johansson, has already filed a petition with Army Corps of Engineers to allow us to go through and finish that up. It's approximately about 500 yards more to clear, so that water will have a clear trail to get to the bay. So I know it was quoted in the paper, and it might not be a big deal to everybody. To me, it sure means a lot to the city. So we're glad that's been done. And that was, really on kind of collaborative effort. You got good neighbors, want to work with the city, council people that are concerned, and just roll up our sleeves and get the job done. So thanks to everybody involved in that. Also, we have recently finished ratings for qualifications on the 2nd Street project. So some of you may remember we had received a Small Cities ODOT grant for $628,000 to revitalize the 2nd Street downtown. The finalists engineering were the firms Pogelmeyer and DGL. They will be submitting a proposal agreement for professional services. So we're anxious to see those and grade those as well to move forward. And finally, Madam President, I also would like to announce the stencil grant. We were awarded to the city $15,000. That $15,000 was something that Laura Schlocker from Main Street and I had discussed. The city working together in joint forces with Main Street to finish up the benches and the street effects downtown. So that money, along with the $15,000 that Main Street had received, a grand total of $30,000, will go towards purchasing those benches and trying to complete that more friendly walk space for everyone. And that is it, Madam President.
Thank you. Auditor's report.
Thank you, Madam President. All item tonight is ordinance 39 and 40 were added to the agenda today. Those are the wage ordinances we've been working on in Finance Committee. And the only thing I would ask is that we consider passing them on December 11th reading. And that's all I have tonight. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. Mrs. Hanson is not here tonight, but she did leave the treasurer's report at everyone's place. Safety Service Director's report.
Thank you, Madam President. Just a couple announcements. DGL is out surveying for the safe routes to school. So if you see people out there, I've gotten a few phone calls today and yesterday on what's going on. But they're out there surveying for safe routes to school, so don't worry. They're working with us in the school on that project. We are continuing leaf pickup, obviously. Just to get a little background on this, we're doing a little bit new process this year. We are curbing everything, meaning we are taking it out of the gutters so it stays out of our sewer system. That's a lot longer process than we've done in the past. So it's not getting to the wards on the same time frame that we always said we would, but we will continue to pick up the leaves. We've already had a machine down, and I had 7 water breaks in the last 2 weeks. So that's kind of slowed us or curtailed the train picking up the leaves. So bear with us. We are still going through town, and we'll continue to pick up leaves till they're done. And I also would like to reiterate thanking the volunteers who helped out, and a special thanks from my end for Janine Sipity up to the Erie Dairy Park. She helped decorate that and is going to finish the rest of it up. And Ernie Hopkins, also a former worker for us, she kind of roped him back in, so he helped out a lot and helped her with the electrical portion of that. So thanks to both of those people. And that's all I have tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Police Chief's report.
Thank you, Madam President. As you all know, we've been talking about it for about the past month. This Thursday is the movie screening of Heroes Behind the Badge at Port Clinton Performing Arts Center. The doors will open at 6:30. The movie screening's at 7. Tickets are still available, $15 in advance. We have them over at the police department. They'll be $20 at the door. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. Fire Chief's report.
The only thing that I have tonight, Madam President, is just remind everyone with all the Christmas decorations and everything that's going up, make sure you do check your lights and those type of things, make sure they are properly connected, plugged in, and then when the fuses blow, don't take the aluminum foil and shove it into the end of them. Watch your heat sources around your trees. A lot of people think live trees are the only hazards, and in the home when you start decorating your trees. And just watch, don't put them too close to the fireplace. I know they look pretty there, that's where mine sits. But the fireplace doesn't burn. We don't burn the fireplace in December. But just be very cautious of how you set up. It's important that everybody has a safe holiday season. We had a fatality, we had 5 fatalities yesterday, very close to us now, Sycamore, Ohio. And again, it goes back to the weather's changing and people just doing things that they probably have done 10,000 times before, but really they should be very cautious of what they do. So it's a joyous season. Always keep that in the back of your mind, but please be safe. I don't want to see you professional. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. Under correspondence this evening, an Aflac representative is going to be available tomorrow from 11 to 4 here at City Hall. Elected officials are eligible to sign up if they wish to do so. You got a piece of information from Public Works, and that was supplied by Ernie Isaac. Also from the Division of Liquor Control, we have a new permit, a D5L, from Riverfront LLC, doing business as the Bait House. This is the Clemens's business located behind the Lakeland Motel. If there's no objection,
Madam President, I make a motion that we waive our right to object to the liquor transfer.
I have a motion that we waive our right to object to the new liquor license. Do I have a second?
Second, Madam President.
Thank you, Ms. Banco. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. And then please, Mr. Clemens, get that business out of the way. I need a motion to accept the correspondence as stated. Additionally, the treasurer's report, the Parks and Recs minutes of 11:13, the infrastructure minutes of 10:30, and the emergency services of 11:20:12.
So moved, Madam President.
Thank you, Mr. Snyder. A second?
I'll second that, Madam President.
Thank you, Ms. Mel. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. We will now go to the reading of ordinances and resolutions. Will the clerk please read by title and summary only ordinance 35-12?
Ordinance 35-12, an ordinance amending sections 1137.01 and 1139.04 of the zoning ordinances of the City of Portland for the purpose of providing regulations for a planned unit development and repealing chapter 1149 of the zoning ordinances.
Does council wish to take any action this evening on ordinance 35-12? Ms. Banko?
I move that we table ordinance 35-12.
I have a motion to table ordinance 35-12. Do I have a second?
I will second that, Madam President.
Thank you, Mr. Snyder. Any discussion? Go ahead, Ms. Banko.
For the reasons previously stated in the public hearing, which occurred just prior to this meeting, this ordinance came to us from the City Planning Commission and was not yet referred to council committee, and so I am moving that we table it so that it can be discussed in committee and so that some additional questions can be answered.
Any other comments? Mr. Snyder?
Thank you, Madam President. I find that this particular ordinance very, very acceptable and a positive tool for the city, but I too have a question or two that I would like answered that hasn't been in any communications with Mr. Wilbur. So I would ask that council members just, at least for 2 more weeks, table it. I plan on voting yes if I get these questions answered.
Anyone else? Would the clerk please call the roll?
Randy Lipstraw,
No.
Mike Snyder,
Yes.
Deborah Benko,
Yes.
Cole Hatfield,
Yes.
Ron Ackerman,
Yes.
Kathy Mel,
Yes.
Mark Kepler,
Yes.
Thank you. Ordinance 35-12 has been tabled. Would the clerk please read by title and summary only of ordinance 37-12?
Ordinance 37-12, an ordinance making appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Portland, County of Ottawa, State of Ohio during fiscal year ending on December 31st, 2013.
Does council wish to take any action this evening on ordinance 37-12? Seeing none, we will move that to its third reading on the 12/11/12 meeting. We will now go to new readings of ordinance and resolutions. Would the clerk please read by title and summary only, ordinance 38-12.
Ordinance 38-12, an ordinance to approve 2012 replacement pages to the Port Clinton codified ordinances and declaring an emergency.
Does council wish to take any action this evening on ordinance 38-12? Seeing none, we will also move that to the 12/11/12 meeting. Would the clerk please read by title and summary only, ordinance 39-12.
Ordinance 39-12, an ordinance revising and fixing the salaries of certain supervisory positions classified as non-exempt employees of the city of Port Clinton, Ohio, not covered by collective bargaining agreement, and replacing any previous ordinances referencing salaries for certain non-exempt employees and declaring an emergency.
Does council wish to take any action this evening on ordinance 39-12? Seeing none, we will move that to the 12/11/12 meeting. Would the clerk please read by title and summary only, ordinance 40-12?
Ordinance 40-12, an ordinance revising and fixing the salaries of certain supervisory positions classified as exempt employees of the city of Port Clinton, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
Does council wish to take any action this evening on ordinance 40-12? Seeing none, we will move that also to the 12/11/12 meeting. Leah, I just have a question on the ordinance 38-12 about the replacement pages. Do we have to pass that before the end of the year? Or does it make any difference? Okay. Just a reminder, at this point, we're only going to have one council meeting in the month of December, and that'll be the 12/11/12 meeting, because our next council meeting falls on Christmas Day. But please be mindful that if an issue comes up, we may have to call an emergency meeting prior to that. Okay, we'll now go to business from the floor. Mr. Hatfield.
Nothing tonight. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. Mr. Ackerman.
I'd like to remind everyone and invite everyone as well to the Parks and Rec meeting, which will be December 11th at 6:30. That'll be all this evening. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. Ms. Benko.
Question for Mayor Leone. When you were talking about the Great Lakes Initiative grant and you said that it was going to be for waterfront restoration, what exactly does that mean? Improving the beach area, the
shoreline,
sand?
the shoreline, all